A security guard is speaking out after he was attacked on the job by two guys he believes were trying to steal his car.
He says he is disappointed in how police and his boss handled the situation. Fox 7's John Krinjak joining us live from East Austin with more on this tonight. John.
Yeah, Mike, Rebecca, we interviewed security officer Percy Payne outside this garage where the attack happened on Monday night. During our interview, Percy Payne's supervisor showed up. An argument ensued between the two of them. That argument ended with Mr. Payne quitting his job and the supervisor saying that the attack was his fault. This was not how security guard Percy Payne expected his shift to go Monday night at this office building on East 6th and Brushy. It all started around 9:30 when he spotted on surveillance video two guys going inside the private underground garage. The door was apparently stuck open.
I witnessed two young Hispanic males on two electric scooters.
He went downstairs to check it out, and he says he saw the teens messing around with his personal car.
One individual was at my driver door with his back to me, looking back. The other individual was at my passenger door, facing me, being a lookout.
The suspect saw him and ran off. He chased after them and says he tried to detain them until someone could call the cops. Then things got physical.
Young individual tried to run me over with his scooter multiple times, and then that's when they started to assault.
Payne says he noticed a screwdriver in one of their pockets.
I heard the individual say, "Hold him," and that's when he went for the screwdriver to try to stab me. I let them go and immediately went to get my work phone to call 911.
Payne told the dispatcher he wasn't hurt badly enough to require EMS, but needed an officer to respond because of what happened to him.
Even though I told her I got assaulted, she told me we will not be sending police officers out there because they did not steal your car. And that is when I hung up.
He called 911.
Man, they probably don't have enough officers, man. Y'all defunded the police, man. They don't have officers for little stuff like this, man.
We will not be sending police officers out there because they did not steal your car. And that is when I hung up.
He called 911 again a few minutes later.
I got a different operator. I told her the situation. She apologized.
About an hour after that, an officer did arrive who Payne says was very helpful. And the attack is being investigated by detectives as an aggravated assault.
Officer told me that call should have been an emergency case.
APD telling Fox 7 Wednesday night they listened to both 911 calls and, quote, "It sounds like it was handled correctly and within policy." APD says an officer didn't respond the first time because it didn't meet certain criteria. Quote, "The suspects were no longer on scene in this case. The caller stated that he was fine, did not need EMS, and no vehicle was stolen. So we would not respond to an attempted car break-in or a stolen vehicle attempt."
I don't think that it was taken as seriously as it should have been.
It was as we were discussing this that Payne's supervisor with Preview Security walked up and asked him to stop talking with us while he was on the job.
We are very sorry that happened to you. We have a policy. You're not supposed to do any interviews in your uniform. If you want to do this as a private citizen, you can.
I understand what you're saying, but it's also my safety.
And
this is the only way my situation will get out there.
Things escalated with Percy making the decision to quit.
Take your uniform off?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But the argument continued.
Look, Percy,
I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't have touched him.
Excuse me.
You touched him.
Is it my fault?
I would say yes. Every bit of it is your fault.
Okay. Thank you. Here you go.
No worries.
The fact that my supervisor basically told me it was my fault that I got assaulted, that let me know all I needed to know.
Wow, that white woman, God, oh, she was out of line, man. That white woman was out of line, man. She not supposed to say that on the news, man. You're not supposed to let the criminals know that it's your fault if you're a security guard because you get assaulted. You stupid bitch. You dumb bitch. You're not supposed to say nothing like that in public, you dumb bitch.
But the argument continued.
Look, Percy,
I'm
I
pretty
wouldn't have
sure.
grabbed him. I wouldn't have touched him.
Excuse me.
You touched him.
Is it my fault?
I would say yes. Every bit of it is your fault.
Okay. Thank you. Here you go.
No worries.
The fact that my supervisor basically told me it was my fault that I got assaulted, that let me know all I needed to know.
Now, tonight, Payne tells me he does not regret walking away from his job. I did speak on the phone with someone from Preby Security earlier this evening who said, quote, "We are in the process of gathering."
She need to be fired. They need to fire her ass. That was very unprofessional, man. She could have reprimanded him when the interview was over. When the interview was over, she could have said, you know, you wasn't supposed to do that. You suspended or you fired or some shit like that. To walk up and argue with him on camera, that's very unprofessional. That white bitch need to be fired. Press 1. Well, whatever she is. I won't even say white. That bitch need to be fired. That was very unprofessional.
He told me it was my fault that I got assaulted. That let me know all I needed to know.
Now, tonight, Payne tells me he does not regret walking away from his job. I did speak on the phone with someone from Preby Security earlier this evening who said, quote, "We are in the process of gathering details. We have been made aware of it and are looking into the situation."
He got a lawsuit. He got a lawsuit if he wanted. He can try. I mean, he can go for it. Wow.
Percy Payne says at his security job Monday night at 6th and Brushy, he saw 2 young men going inside this underground garage, the door stuck open. He believes they were trying to steal his car. He tried to detain them and says they attacked him. Payne had to call 911 twice for an officer to respond. During Fox 7's interview earlier this week, his supervisor walked up and told him there's a policy against doing interviews in uniform. Things escalated with Payne deciding to quit.
Take your uniform off.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
But they kept arguing.
You touched him.
Is it my fault?
I would say yes. Every bit of it is your fault.
Payne, speaking to us Friday, talks about the attention he's gotten.
It was overwhelming, but I really do appreciate all the positive energy and everything that's been happening.
When asked if he was worried about what came next after he quit,
In a way I was, but I still had to think positive. I got a whole kid with me, so I got to think positive. So if he see me worrying, he gonna worry.
and after thinking he had to job search,
I woke up the next morning, was about to really get on Indeed and just start scrolling, because I know I've been looking in the medical field and a lot of stuff, but something keeps drawing me back to security.
that's where Michael Cargill came in, seeing our story on social media.
He deserved better. That was just insane. The fact that he was in that predicament in the first place, and the fact that his supervisor was blaming him, his company was blaming him as the person that was in the wrong.
He made the decision to hire him just like that.
That is the first time me hiring someone, not knowing anything about that person, not knowing anything about their background. But the fact that he's a level 2 security officer, that tells me he has a good background. So, hey, I'm confident he's going to be an outstanding person.
Payne will be starting his new job Monday.
He's level 2 security, unarmed. I'll make him a level 3, an armed security guard. I'll give him the training.
Blessing. You know, I'm like, yeah, this is a blessing. So I'm going to take this. This is an opportunity. It's a doorway. I'm going to take it. It can lead anywhere.
Wow.
Tonight, a local security guard is questioning on.
Wow. Happy ending, man. Happy ending. What's up, man? What's up, Mr. Philly?
What's the deal, bro? How you?
Everything cool, man. Shout out to Not Jimmy Stewart, man. Not Jimmy Stewart, Rock Nation Hall of Famer in the building. He says, keep hope alive. Shout out to LRLRS. It's rough out here, man. It's rough out here, man.
Shit's crazy right now.
Welcome back. Tenants of a D.C. apartment building telling Fox 5 they are living in constant fear of rats nesting in their homes.